But Simon Cowell crashed his e-bike in Malibu nearly 2 years ago. He came this close to never walking again, or worse.
Who do you think is the best judge on your daddy show?
Daddy.
You could argue Simon Cowell is creating more drama in his personal life than he ever has on TV. He's put himself smack in the middle of what's looking like a nasty divorce and custody battle.
After months of intense speculation, swirling rumors, and wild fan theories, Simon Cowell finally breaks his silence on his son Eric's stunning transformation, delivering a raw and surprising verdict that may change everything we thought we knew about the Cowell family's private life. What's driving this dramatic change? And how will Simon's notoriously high standards shape their evolving father-son dynamic? Join us as we reveal Simon Cowell's surprising comments on his son's astonishing transformation. Simon Cowell spills the tea. It seems like celebrity kids grow up in the blink of an eye. One minute they're being wheeled around the streets of Los Angeles in a stroller, and the next minute they're old enough to walk the red carpet. Take Eric Cowell, for example, the only child of former famed American Idol judge Simon Cowell, whose harsh criticism and sarcastic humor earned him a beloved place in millions of fans' hearts around the world, has grown up quickly. Will he want to follow in the footsteps of his famous parents? What life will he carve out for himself under the watchful eye of the spotlight? These are all questions fans love to ask about the young boy who turned into the spitting image of his celeb father. With a father like Simon, there's no question Eric has adopted many traits in common with the America's Got Talent judge. He's not only got an eye for talent, but he's got aspirations to go into the entertainment business as well. Could he be the next up-and-coming celebrity talent show judge? And will he be just as ruthless as his dear old dad? Either way, the 10-year-old is blessed with a plethora of opportunities to choose from. With huge shows like Pop Idol, The X Factor, and Britain's Got Talent under his belt, Simon Cowell is one of the most successful music moguls of all time. The 63-year-old has an estimated fortune of around £500 million. His shows have aired in 69 countries around the world, including America, Canada, and Australia, with the Got Talent format going down in history as the most successful reality TV format so far. So with all his expert experience, it's no surprise Simon is reportedly training up his 9-year-old son Eric to be the successor to his multi-million-pound empire one day, something he says would be his dream. Revealing he was encouraging young Eric to follow in his footsteps in an exclusive chat with The Mirror, Simon said Eric is a little him. He added that, when he's playing up a bit, he tells Eric that he has already done all the work. He confirmed encouraging him to go into show business. Viewers have already seen Eric in action when he made a special appearance with his famous dad on Britain's Got Talent back in 2020. Many fans even called for the youngster to be the ITV show's 5th judge. Although Eric certainly seems to have show business in his sights in the future, Dad Simon recently revealed that his son wants to be the talent rather than manage it, and has begged him to audition for the next series of Britain's Got Talent. During a recent interview, Simon shared that Eric has decided that he's going to audition for Britain's Got Talent. However, that is going to be total torture. He did not want to judge his son's drumming, but Eric has remained adamant. But it looks as though Eric has inherited his father's stubborn nature, as Simon admitted the schoolboy was not prepared to back down about getting up on stage at the London Palladium next year. The dad of one who was famously a bachelor before falling in love with American businesswoman Lauren Silverman told the son that he thinks Eric wants to be in a rock band and that he loves Green Day, and he is really serious about it. Simon, on the other hand, wants his son to be veiled from the spotlight. Whatever the side of the camera Eric ends up on, he has a bright future ahead and could easily follow Dad Simon into the music business if he wants to. And brand and culture expert Nick Ed thinks Eric is on course to become an even bigger mogul than his famous dad. Simon spoke on how, although Eric is only 9, he is already making waves. He told the son that Eric is ultra-talented already, so if he gets the golden buzzer on his own merits and not his father's, then he's on to a winner. Either way, Eric Cowell is going to be a superstar in the making, and all eyes will be on him as he gets older. Still, on how much the youngster has transformed, let's journey through time. Being a celebrity's child. Eric Cowell came into the world on Valentine's Day in 2014, with his father announcing the news on X, formerly known as Twitter. Simon tweeted at the time, adding that his son was healthy and handsome. Eric was born to Simon and his now fiancée, Lauren Silverman, whom he started dating around 2013. The former American Idol judge was overjoyed about becoming a father, telling Extra shortly after the birth that he was born to be a dad. Simon flew from London to New York City just in time to welcome his son after receiving a call from Silverman in the middle of filming Britain's Got Talent. Arriving just 2 hours before Eric's birth, the producer witnessed the special moment just in time. Eric got his name from Simon's late father, who the talent judge was incredibly close with before he died from a heart attack in 1999. According to Simon, whenever he looks at Eric, he thinks of his dad all the time, so it's a really good thing. Luckily enough for Lauren and Simon, Eric didn't give his parents too many problems as a newborn. It is not uncommon for parents to make significant changes in the lives of their wards, but have you witnessed the table turn? Well, Eric was the messiah his father needed. Simon's savior in sight. Simon Cowell revealed that his son ultimately rescued him from a dark place in his life, giving him newfound motivation and purpose. In an interview with the Diary of a CEO, the America's Got Talent judge admitted that losing his parents was the most difficult thing he had to go through in life. But Eric's birth ultimately saved him from what he called a downward spiral. When he got the call from Lauren Silverman that she was expecting, Simon admitted his whole world changed in an instant. With a new son to look after, he began to discover happiness again, learning to see the positives in life after the devastating shock of his mother's death in 2015. Eric even brought his father out of a period where he had been experiencing tunnel vision with his work. Simon recalled a time before Eric when he was accustomed to staying up until 4 a.m., laser focused on his job and trying to improve ratings. According to Simon, if Eric hadn't come along, he would have been devastated for the rest of his life. Simon told the Sun, adding that he was really unhappy and working late was an escape route. But now that Eric is around, he doesn't work through the night anymore. The former American Idol judge says fatherhood has completely changed him for the better. Recounting his story, he believes he is a different person from who he was 10 years ago, before the birth of his son. Eric is not the only son ascribed to Simon. He has a secret heir who seems obscure from the world, the sibling nobody knew about. Eric Cowell may have been Simon's first biological child, but he grew up with an older stepbrother. His mother, Lauren Silverman, had a child from a previous relationship, a son named Adam Silverman. Lauren was previously married to Andrew Silverman, but she found out she was pregnant with Simon's child in 2013 while they were still together. Andrew filed for divorce after learning the news, naming Simon Cowell as a co-respondent for adultery, according to court documents obtained by Entertainment Daily. Simon and Lauren's messy romance led to an estranged relationship with Adam. The producer was reportedly barred from spending time with Adam a decade ago and would have been forced to pay a $50,000 fine if he broke the rules. All those stipulations seem to be in the past, however, as Adam, Eric, Simon, and Lauren have been seen spending time together in public on several occasions in recent years. And Adam and Eric seem to have a cute brotherly bond. There's no telling what the future may hold, but Simon has been candid about the possibility of giving Eric another sibling. Even in his 60s, the talented judge welcomes the idea of another kid. Not only is Eric Simon's savior, but he is also his father's teacher and caregiver. No wonder Simon wouldn't stop singing his praise in public. The mighty Simon Cowell getting schooled by his own son. Simon Cowell may be in his 60s, but he's shared that his son Eric keeps him young. In an interview for The Sun, the producer shared that he got a reality check when he realized just how much energy his son has and how fit he needs to be to keep up with the pace. He said while he is 64 and Eric is 9, whenever he is playing football with Eric, he has to get fit just to play with him. Otherwise, he would find himself on the ground. He added that Eric's energy is off the chart. Cowell even went so far as to declare he was committing to a vegan diet in 2019, opting for a healthier lifestyle and more exercise to keep up with Eric. His son was also his inspiration in getting rehabilitated quickly when he suffered a broken back after falling from an electric bike in 2020. At the time, he had gained back some of the weight he had previously shed to help recover from the injury. Eric became his driving force to get fit again. Simon made a full recovery, and he's since switched back to a healthy diet full of lean meats and fresh vegetables. He, however, claimed the only difficult thing is when Eric orders pizza and he develops an urge to have a bite. However, he dares not. In addition to keeping him in shape, Simon's mini-me has always motivated the talent judge to quit smoking. According to Simon, Eric is strict. If he catches him smoking, he will scold him as though he were his teacher. Simon admitted to sneaking behind the hedges to smoke. He recounted a story of how one day he was on 4 puffs and he could see Eric following me around. So he said to him that, thanks to him, he nearly quit. This shows he still smokes. Even his good friend Sunita Malone noticed a change in Simon and revealed that Eric had become the cigarette police. She told the Daily Mail that Eric follows Simon around. With the smoking thing, he only allows Simon to have 1 puff of a cigarette. Have you ever wondered why some celebrities as children choose to be veiled away from the public mirror? Well, Eric has an explanation to make: escaping paparazzis and their flashlights. Eric Cowell has gotten used to the spotlight ever since he was born, with paparazzi snapping photos of him when he was still an infant. He's joined Simon on the red carpet on several occasions, such as for the America's Got Talent finale in 2022, and he posed for photos alongside his family when his father was awarded his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2018. But as much as Eric is happy to join his father for his tapings and appearances in California, he spends just as much time on Simon's property in the English countryside. In an interview for Access Hollywood, the former American Idol judge commented that his son shares a lot of similar traits with him, including a love for the outdoors. Simon explained that Eric does the things he did as a kid, playing football outside and climbing trees. Since they live in the countryside, he gets to do tons of things outside. The wealthy seem to have their children as their major beneficiaries, and Simon Cowell is not an exception. While you're still here, let's explore the shocking thing Cowell did for Eric. The youngest member of Soho House. Eric Cowell has enjoyed a life full of the riches and privileges his father has bestowed upon him, including his very own membership in the exclusive Soho House. In 2018, he became the club's youngest member, among the likes of Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and Kate Moss. Soho House is a hotel chain and private members club that caters to the A-lister lifestyle, where members can mingle and relax in numerous high-scale establishments without the lingering eyes of the less rich and less privileged. Thanks to Simon footing the $1,000 bill, his son can access any of the Soho clubs across the globe. In a detailed interview with Simon, Eric wanted to go swimming during the heat wave, but Simon was filming and Lauren wasn't around. So they got him a membership so the nanny could take him. Talk about a stylish playdate. Simon seems to be enjoying fatherhood so much that he decides to involve his son in all his executions. He has spent his wealth and cash on him. Now he has spent his wealth and knowledge. Visiting the literary world. Watch out, world. Eric and Simon Cowell are set to launch a new book series together. Inspired by Eric's love of animals, the former X Factor judge announced in 2020 that he and his son had secured a 7-part book deal with the publishing company Hachette Kids. Simon took to Instagram to share the news, revealing that the book series would be based on a fantasy world full of several unique animal species. According to him, Wishfit is a world where the most unusual animals exist. The Wishfits are magical, unusual, and have evolved in a weird and wonderful way, combining 2 different species to form hybrid animals with very distinct characteristics. The producer mentioned that species include the dog-cat, or dat, the hippo-kangaroo, or hipparoo, and the chimpanzee-poodle, otherwise known as chimpanpoo. The experience of getting involved in a book venture with his only child has only brought Simon even closer to his son. He admitted that being able to write a series of books with my son Eric has been magical. Simon revealed that he and his son developed the idea to write the series after always imagining the most unusual fictitious pets. A friend of Simon's pushed him to turn their fascination into print and donate some of the proceeds to charity. Simon and Eric plan to donate money to the nonprofit organizations Shooting Star Children's Hospices and Together for Short Lives. While it might seem that Eric has a perfect life, his reality depicts the opposite, as he is having difficulty choosing a career. Eric shocks the world with his career choice. With a father like Simon Cowell, Eric has all the tools in the world to become an artist one day. He's got big dreams at a young age, and his father revealed that his son loves rock music. In an interview with Entertainment Tonight in 2023, Simon admitted that Eric had hopes of one day auditioning for Britain's Got Talent, saying he thinks he wants to be in a rock band. He loves Green Day. To help make his dreams a reality, Simon's mini-me has been working hard at mastering his drumming skills. and his father has already shared his admiration for his son's talent. He has started taking lessons, and they have bought him a kit. Eric, according to his father, has great timing and reads music, and it's brilliant watching him play in his bedroom. He looks like a little rock star. Eric is even picking up on his father's skills as a talent scout. In 2023, Simon revealed that Eric predicted that year's America's Got Talent winner. Simon admitted to watching him as the result came in, and he's like jumping up in the air. The talent judge revealed that his son has become truly invested in America's Got Talent, admitting that it's become a topic of conversation for the pair each morning as they predict which contestants will continue in the show. Yes, Simon has spent a lot on Eric, but will he leave any with him? Simon has shocked the world with his inheritance decisions. Simon shocks the world with his will. Eric Cowell may enjoy the perks of having a famous dad for now, but that might not always be the case. Despite Simon's estimated $600 million net worth, the former American Idol judge says he doesn't plan to hand his son his enormous fortune if anything happens to him in the future. Simon is going to leave my money to somebody, a charity probably, kids and dogs, he admitted in an interview with The Mirror. He said he doesn't believe in passing on from one generation to another. He believes that a true legacy lies in the opportunities you create for others. It's about giving people the chance to succeed, sharing your time, and passing on the knowledge you've gained. Ultimately, it's the impact you leave by helping others thrive that defines your lasting contribution. Even though Eric may not be getting an inheritance, it doesn't mean he isn't a shoo-in to take over his father's business opportunities. In an interview with The Sun, Simon revealed that his son may be the one in his chair one day. He said he is sort of training him up, and he would love him to take over. He is confident, and when he takes over, he knows what everybody does. Eric likes being in the gallery, and that will be Simon's dream. While he will not be leaving his wealth for his son, he has invested in what might count for his son later on: charity. Choosing the needs of others. Cowell has been involved in charity work for many years. He is a patron of Together for Short Lives, the leading UK charity for all children with life-threatening and life-limiting conditions. He was patron of Children's Hospices UK between 2009 and 2011, before it merged to become Together for Short Lives. He donated money to Manchester Dogs Home in England after it was hit by a large fire. In view of his charitable works, particularly the production of the charity single Everybody Hurts in aid of victims of the 2010 Haiti earthquake, as well as his services to the music industry, there was considerable media speculation as to whether Cowell would receive a knighthood in the Queen's 2010 birthday honors, a proposal allegedly put forward by then Prime Minister Gordon Brown. In November 2003, Cowell appeared on the BBC's charity telethon Children in Need, where viewers pledged thousands to see him get sawn in half. In December 2003, he published his autobiography titled I Don't Mean to Be Rude. In it, he told of his childhood, his years working in music and experiences on Pop Idol, Pop Stars Rivals, and American Idol, and finally, his tips for being successful as a pop star. In 2010, he was added as a new entry to the latest edition of the UK's Who's Who. Cowell has appeared as a guest voice in an episode of The Simpsons, Smart and Smarter, in which he gets beaten up by Homer Simpson while criticizing Homer's punches. In May 2010, he portrayed himself again in an episode of The Simpsons, Judge Me Tender. His voice was heard on an episode of Family Guy in which he told Stewie that his singing was so awful that he should be dead. Do you know that Simon left school at a really tender age? Well, this has not impeded his success. Let's explore the situations that led to this decision. From dropout to millionaire, Cowell's snarky side has served him well in the entertainment industry, but as far as school, his teachers were not having it, and apparently the famous judge got in trouble pretty often. Maybe it was because he didn't like school at all. Cowell's parents sent him to Dover College, a boarding school in southeast England. He complained of being freezing cold and hungry, and he eventually dropped out at age 16. He doesn't regret the decision today. According to him, everyone has different views on this, and he has been criticized for saying this in the past, but he really feels bad for people who are like himself, who were told if one doesn't achieve this by the age of 16, 18, 21, one's life is going to be a failure. After dropping out of college, Cowell's father, a successful estate agent developer and music industry executive, set up several interviews to try and get his son a job. Cowell eventually landed a gig as a mailroom intern for EMI Music Publishing. He fell in love with music and worked his way up to an assistant for an A&R executive in 1979. After failing to land a promotion, Simon quit EMI to start E&S Music, which he later quit to start Fanfare Record with his colleague Ian Burton in 1985. In the 4 years that it was established, Fanfare Records found very little success. Its breakout moment came when the hit song So Macho by Sunita was released in 1986. By 1989, the company folded for good, and Cowell nearly went bankrupt. He landed on his feet thanks to a job as an A&R consultant with BMG, where he was responsible for scouting new talent and musicians. This is where he really developed his eye for talent. The star signed many successful artists, including the boy band Westlife and the pop duo Robson and Jerome. How much do you know about Simon Cowell, particularly his wealth? This revelation would leave your mouth open. Simon came into extreme wealth in the early 2000s. In 2001, Cowell teamed up with Simon Fuller to produce Pop Idol, a show in which the public chooses Britain's next big music performance star, and then American Idol 1 year later. Both shows were instantly successful. Pop Idol's first season attracted more than 11 million viewers, and American Idol doubled that with its first season finale. Despite the widespread opinion that Cowell was a little too opinionated, the judge quickly rose to fame as these shows took off. Simon earned a cool $33 million per season of American Idol and went on to produce other successful musical talent show franchises such as X Factor, Britain's Got Talent, and America's Got Talent. This was all while still earning income from the record labels he founded. Cowell started his own record label, S Records, in 2002 and strategically signed the top 2 finalists from the first season of Pop Idol, who both went on to have #1 hits in the UK. One winner, Will Young, earned $1.8 million in sales with his debut single. Cowell, who owned half of Young's shares, sold his share in S Records to BMG for $42 million. Cowell also founded music and television company Psycho Entertainment in 2003. Since its establishment, the company has sold more than 200 million albums and achieved 180 #1 singles worldwide. By 2017, Cowell was bringing in $95 million per year. He now owns a ton of luxury real estate. Cowell has a few mansions in the US and beyond, including a neighboring mansion to Elton John's place in Beverly Hills. He also owns a $10 million mansion in London's Golden Postcode, better known as Holland Park. Add to that a $25 million, 10,000 square foot property on the Malibu coast, as well as a $40 million, 10-bedroom estate in Barbados. Why not? The America's Got Talent judge doesn't just spend his money on luxe properties. He's a big family man with wife Lauren Silverman and 5-year-old son Eric. He also is a huge animal person. Who knew? Cowell is a supporter of animal rights and has donated to Manchester Dogs Home. He's also spoken on behalf of PETA and against dog meat trading in Indonesia and South Korea. He has also donated more than $120,000 to support the Israeli Defense Forces. Beyond Got, Simon was a demon on screen. He killed many shows and remained at the apex with top actors. Star moments of Simon Cowell. Simon made an MTV Movie Award-winning cameo appearance as himself in Scary Movie 3, where he sits in judgment during a battle rap and is subsequently killed by gunfire for criticizing the rappers. He appears in the DVD version of Shrek 2 as himself in Far, Far Away Idol and also provided the voice. Cowell was once the fastest star in a reasonably priced car on the BBC's motoring show Top Gear, driving a Suzuki Liana around the show's test track in a time of 1 minute 47 seconds and 1 millisecond. When Top Gear retired the Liana along with its rankings after the 8th series, Cowell was the 8th fastest overall and the 3rd fastest non-professional driver. On the 11th of November 2007, Cowell yet again appeared on Top Gear, achieving a time of 1 minute 45 seconds and 9 milliseconds, thus putting him ahead of Chef Gordon Ramsay and back at the top of the table. His time of 1 minute 45 seconds 9 milliseconds was then tied with English rock singer Brian Johnson of AC/DC and Grand Design's host Kevin MacLeod for the 2nd fastest time, just 0.1 seconds behind Jamiroquai singer JK. In March 2015, Cowell defended Top Gear presenter Jeremy Clarkson after he was suspended by the BBC for punching a colleague, with Cowell stating on Good Morning Britain that he has apologized. But he thinks what is quite obvious is that the public is behind him. But that just shows the real Jeremy. He also appeared on an episode of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and Saturday Night Live in 2004. Cowell has also guest starred in the popular talk show Live with Regis and Kelly during American Idol's finalist week in early 2006. Cowell introduced entertainer Dick Clark at the 2006 Primetime Emmy Awards. He was seen on the British charity telethon Comic Relief, appearing on Comic Relief Does the Apprentice, where he donated £25,000 for a funfair ticket. Cowell has also appeared on the MTV shows Cribs and Punk'd. On Punk'd, Ryan Seacrest and Randy Jackson set him up to believe his $400,000 Rolls-Royce was stolen and had caused an accident by using a nearly identical car. Cowell was a partner in the Royal Ascot Racing Club, a thoroughbred horse racing syndicate that owned the 2005 Epsom Derby winner, Motivator. Cowell was chosen as the first subject of the relaunched British edition of This Is Your Life, in an episode broadcast on ITV on the 2nd of June 2007. He was presented with the Red Book by Sir Trevor McDonald while presenting American Idol. On 1st of July 2007, Cowell appeared as a speaker at the concert for Diana held at Wembley Stadium, London, to celebrate the life of Princess Diana almost 10 years after her death. Proceeds from the concert went to Diana's charities, as well as to charities of which her sons, Princes William and Harry, are patrons. At the 2012 Pride of Britain Awards on the 30th of October, Cowell, along with Michael Caine, Elton John, Richard Branson, and Stephen Fry, recited Rudyard Kipling's poem If, in tribute to the 2012 British Olympic and Paralympic athletes. In October 2013, Cowell took part in a fundraising event in Los Angeles in support of the Israeli Defense Forces. The event raised $20 million, and Cowell made a personal donation of $150,000. To raise money for the families of the victims of the Grenfell Tower fire in London in June 2017 and for the London Community Foundation, Cowell arranged the recording and release of a charity single, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Cowell collaborated with a number of vocalists for the single, including Robbie Williams, Dua Lipa, Roger Daltrey, and Rita Ora, and the song reached #1 in the UK singles chart. Cowell was beyond media narratives. Before you go, let's dive into some realities about his life. Untold stories about the revered celebrity. Cowell dated English presenter Terry Seymour from 2002 to 2008. Cowell was engaged to makeup artist Mezgun Husseini from 2010 to 2011. In 2013, Cowell allegedly began dating an American woman named Lauren Silverman. In July 2013, Silverman's husband and Cowell's friend, Andrew Silverman, filed for an at-fault divorce, citing adultery by his wife and naming Cowell as a co-respondent. News of the divorce filing became public 2 weeks later, when it was widely reported that Silverman and Cowell were expecting a baby together. Cowell said there are a lot of things he would eventually clear up when the time is right, but he really has to be sensitive because there's a lot of people's feelings involved here. The Silvermans released separate statements expressing concern for the well-being of their son during the divorce process. In August 2013, the Silvermans settled their divorce out of court, enabling Cowell to avoid being called as a witness in the divorce proceedings. He subsequently confirmed that Silverman was pregnant with his child, and she gave birth to their son Eric on the 14th of February 2014. The couple confirmed their engagement in January 2022. In 2010, Cowell came out in support of the Conservative Party leader David Cameron for Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Writing in The Sun, he said he believes he is the Prime Minister Britain needs at this time. He has substance and the stomach to navigate us through difficult times. In 2013, Cowell contravened his previous statement about David Cameron. According to the interview, while he has supported candidates, he has never voted in an election. Cowell was in favor of the UK remaining in the EU in the 2016 EU referendum. In 2019, Cowell became a vegan after doctors advised him to change his diet for health reasons. He was also named one of the wealthiest people in the UK by the Sunday Times Rich list. Cowell was worth £385 million in 2019. On the 8th of August, 2020, Cowell broke his back after he fell off his new electric motorcycle, which many press sources confused with an electric bike. The incident occurred while he was testing it at his home in Malibu, California. Cowell was taken to the hospital where he underwent back surgery overnight. After the accident, he began eating animal-based food again to rebuild his strength. Thanks for watching. While you're still here, make sure to click the video on your screen for more mind-blowing videos. Also, remember to drop a like and subscribe.